Stop everything you're doing, because what happened at the 2025 Blue Dragon Awards is about to rewrite the entire celebrity rumor universe, and you're going to want to watch this from the very beginning. Picture this, a glittering red carpet, some of the biggest names in the Korean entertainment industry, camera flashes that could blind a small city, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, the moment no one predicted, but everyone secretly hoped for. Yoona and Lee Junho stepped into the same frame again. Not accidentally, not coincidentally, but in a way that looked almost intentional. If you thought the airport moment last year was shocking, or that the AAA 2023 shoulder glance was peak chaos, then you are absolutely not ready for what happened tonight. This wasn't subtle. This wasn't fleeting. This was the kind of moment that makes social media platforms collapse into hysteria. The kind TMZ would blast with siren sound effects, the kind News would narrate with phrases like "the chemistry is undeniable." Because the instant Yoona and Junho appeared under the same spotlight at Blue Dragon Awards 2025, the atmosphere changed. Fans felt it. Reporters felt it. Even the photographers froze mid-shutter like they knew this was the shot of the night. It began with Yoona stepping out of her van. Her dress, a shimmering silver gown with crystal embroidery, hugging her figure with that signature elegance that only she can pull off. Her hair, soft, wavy, cascading down like a scene straight out of a cinematic perfume commercial. Fans screamed her name, snapping photos as she smiled gracefully and greeted the crowd. She looked calm, glowing, effortlessly breathtaking. Then, 7 minutes later, Lee Junho arrived. Dark suit, velvet collar, black-on-black styling that screamed sophistication. A sharp jawline, confident posture, the signature Junho walk that fans swear belongs in slow motion. The reporters raised their cameras. The fans raised their expectations. Because they knew. They remembered last year. They remembered the rumors, the fan edits, the chemistry from King the Land, the award show tension, the glances, the little moments. And they knew this appearance would either revive the fire, or bury it. But instead of burying it, the moment blew it sky high. Junho stepped onto the carpet, smiled, waved, nothing unusual. But then it happened. He turned his head to the left, and standing there, just at the edge of the next photo zone, was Yoona. For a split second, Junho stopped. Literally stopped. His expression didn't change dramatically, but there was a visible flicker in his eyes. A recognition. A spark. A moment the cameras did not miss. And Yoona. She noticed him too. She turned just slightly, enough to meet his gaze. And then, oh, it happened. The smile. That soft, tiny, shy smile the internet is now replaying in 0.25x speed like it's a treasure map clue. The smile wasn't her usual polished red carpet smile. It was something smaller, warmer, almost private. Fans lost their minds. Twitter timeline, destroyed. YouTube reaction channels, activated. TikTok editors, trembling. Instagram fan pages, already posting slow-mo edits with dramatic K-ballad music. But the moment didn't end there. Photographers, sensing drama, immediately shouted for both of them. Yoona-sai. Junho-sai. Together, please. At first it seemed impossible. Two megastars, two agencies, two schedules, two teams managing each step like chess pieces on a glowing battlefield. But then, Junho shifted slightly to the right, closer to Yoona's section. And Yoona, after finishing her pose in front of the third camera row, stepped slightly to the left. That was all it took. They were now close enough for a full two-shot. The photographers erupted like fireworks. Cameras clicked violently, a sound so intense it could have doubled as a thunderstorm. Their teams, their managers, their coordinators froze, suddenly unsure whether to interfere or let this PR gold unfold. Junho glanced her way. Yoona smiled again. He gave a nod. She returned it. It was small, subtle, barely there, but fans saw everything. From behind the barrier, a fan screamed, "Are they dating? Oh my God, look at them." Another shouted, "This is too natural." A Japanese fan cried, "This chemistry is insane," while American fans yelled, "This is so real it hurts." Social media was in flames before the photos were even uploaded. People posted blurry screenshots captioned, "They look too comfortable. That smile. Hello." He literally gravitated toward her. And then came the shock moment that sent everyone spiraling. Junho subtly positioned himself beside her as a staff member accidentally stepped too close, almost brushing her dress. Junho shifted with the smallest protective motion, just enough to be noticeable, not enough to be exaggerated. It lasted less than 2 seconds, but the video has already been viewed over 30 million times. That wasn't scripted. That wasn't coordinated. That wasn't fan service. It was instinct. Fast forward to the award ceremony inside the venue. Fans expected distance, separation, denial of any early attention. But no, instead, the seating arrangement gods delivered another plot twist. Junho and Yoona were seated only 3 rows apart, and every time the camera panned across their section, fans spotted at least one moment of eye contact or a faint smile. During one presenter segment, Yoona laughed at a joke, and Junho looked her way with the tiniest grin. Fans clipped it instantly. During a winner announcement, Junho clapped and Yoona clapped, and internet detectives swore their syncing was too perfect to be coincidence. But the true explosion came backstage. A leaked behind-the-scenes clip showed Yoona walking down a hallway, greeting staff, smiling warmly. Then, from the opposite direction, Junho appeared. They passed each other, and what happened next was subtle but atmospheric enough to set the world ablaze. Junho slowed his steps just slightly, enough to match her pace for one heartbeat. Yoona turned her head a fraction, acknowledged him with a soft expression, and continued walking. They didn't talk. They didn't touch. They didn't interact physically. But the energy, off the charts. Some fans are convinced they're dating. Others think they're simply close colleagues. But the biggest group, the shippers, the seasoned entertainment watchers, the body language analysts, believe this was the most natural, comfortable, unforced interaction they've seen from them in years. Entertainment reporters backstage whispered things like, "They're definitely closer this year. There's something different." They didn't avoid each other at all. One reporter even claimed, "You'd think they rehearsed how coordinated they looked on the red carpet." Meanwhile, agencies have remained dead silent. No statements. No clarifications. No, they are close friends. No, please do not misunderstand. Nothing. And in the world of celebrity PR, silence is suspiciously loud. When the event ended, Yoona